So weekly candle close underneath 30,000, and I'd be looking for a big breakdown, Krisha, like perhaps 20,000.
That'll be a serious bleed, but
it'll be a big move. No, it'll be an impulsive move. It'll be fast. I think it'd be quicker than people expect.
Hey guys, Krisha here. Please be cautious of any fake comments and emails you may receive from people pretending to be Mango Research. Sean and I will never, ever contact you for investment opportunities or anything of that sort. To get in touch with the real Mango team, make sure to join our official Discord chat using the link in the description below. Stay safe out there, and remember, do it Mango. And what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's Bitcoin and Ethereum analysis video. I have Sean with me today. Sean, say hi.
Good morning, everyone, and a happy weekend to all of you. So, Krisha, Ethereum made it. Hey, you must be happy today.
Yes, sirree. I'm always happy to cover Ethereum. Ethereum is one of my favorite charts in the crypto space after Bitcoin, that is. But Sean, we are, well, getting into the weekend. We know how price action can be a little tricky over the weekend. We have weekend shenanigans. So what we'll be doing today, guys, is that we'll be focusing on the weekly time frame. Why the weekly? Because the weekly is important, right? And then only then will we be moving on over to Ethereum. Now we've picked Ethereum because Ethereum won the popular vote. The second in line, of course. Sean, you have one guess. Which one do you think was the second?
BNB.
No, come on.
Okay. Not even close?
Not even close.
VeChain? Cardano.
Of course. There we go.
What was I thinking? Jesus. Brain farted. Of course it's Cardano. Like,
exactly. So Cardano fanboys and fangirls, you want your coin to be covered in, well, tomorrow's video. Take this time to get down to the comment section and vote for your favorite altcoin. Okay, the popular vote wins. And if you have been enjoying Mango's content for all this time, make sure that when you're scrolling up, you can see that little like button. Smash those likes because that helps out the channel tremendously. Now, Sean, are you?
I'm staring at two comments over there. One by Sherwin and the other by Ishan. Both mango seedlings, by the way. But I want to address Sherwin's comment first. Sherwin says, "If this, then that" is now a phrase I use in my day-to-day life at every single opportunity. And guys, that's actually more profound than you would think, right? Sherwin is saying that, and there's a lot of meaning to that because this is aside from charting, guys. Okay, this is more for life, sort of a small piece of wisdom I can impart on all of you. And that sounds a bit pretentious, but it has helped me a lot in my life. If this, then that does not only apply to the charts, it applies to your life, to every single moment of your day. You are provided with choices that you have to make. If I do this, then I will have that. If I don't do this, then I won't have that, right? People ask me, Sean, how do you wake up in the morning every day at 5 a.m. or sometimes 4:30? The other day I woke up late and people were making fun of me because I consider waking up at 6:30 late, right? Krisha rails on me on that a lot. But it's always a choice. If I wake up, then I have my entire morning to finish up my work by around 10 a.m. while everyone is just beginning their day at 10 a.m., right? And it's always, if I do this, then I can have that. If I don't do this, then I can't have that. So it boils down to even discipline. So if this, then that choice, you have the choice to make every decision you have throughout the day. You can take control of your entire life and every outcome that comes after that. So yeah, that's just a side rant there. And then Ishan asks, I would love to see a video describing how you guys start your journey. It would literally be a video of us talking about how much money we lost, how much pain we endured, and yeah, that would be a interesting video. So Krisha, we should do that.
Yeah, we should. So yeah. I think it'll be fun too.
We should do it over one of our live streams. I'm considering doing one, perhaps today or over the weekend. It's been a while. Stream? Yeah.
That'll be cool. So guys, if Sean actually does put out a live stream, we will make an announcement in the Discord chat. So if you are not already in the Discord chat, make sure to join the Discord chat. You can get access to it on www.themangoway.com/discord. Okay, that should take you to our channel. Now, Sean, are you ready to get into the charts?
Yeah, let's do it.
Brilliant. Alrighty, so Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. My thoughts, it's looking nasty. I'm not liking the picture, of course. This candle has not closed, and in fact, we've seen multiple of these weekly candles actually look just like this one, only for the week to close over that green box territory. Now, for those of you wondering, well, what the hell is the green box territory, Krisha? That is your monthly levels, okay? So the top of the green box marks out your monthly Tenkin, the bottom is the monthly Kijun, and now we're seeing that cascade on over to the weekly time frame. So far, we have been respecting those regions of support underneath us. But now question is, where do we go from here, right? How does this really close? Sean, what are your thoughts? If we close like this on, well, the next weekly close, how would you feel about that?
I'm not gonna like it. It's literally been the same story for the past few weeks now, past month actually. Each time we've come down and threatened to close underneath this neckline over here, right? You guys seeing this initial thrust of the breakdown? I have said if we close underneath here, I'd be looking for follow through. But what has been happening over and over again, week after week after week, is that the bulls managed to close those weekly candles right above that zone that you've marked out, right? So this is what we've been saying, Krisha. Every weekly candle has been defending that monthly Tenkin and the monthly Kijun. So we're seeing a lower time frame defense of a higher time frame support, which sits in line with a lot of theory we've been talking about over the past like freaking years now, where higher time frame support can step in and defend lower time frame trends. Over here we're seeing a weekly time frame being the lower time frame, right, and the monthly coming in and holding it up. So in the context of the weekly, this seems like it's taking so long, right, Krisha? But when you go on over to the monthly, you're seeing, wait a minute, it's literally been only 3 candles. But then again, 3 candles is 90 days, right, on the monthly time frame. But the charts don't care. The candles don't care. The candles don't care about your preference of time. So if you say you're playing for the long term, you have to just be patient and understand that these things may take a while to play out. So Krisha, Tenkin and Kijun coming under pressure again. Will the weekly hold up? If we don't hold up, it's going to be something to definitely take note of, because that would be a change in behavior over here. But I would like to say that some people have been pointing this out to me, and I've been looking at it too. It would not be wrong to be looking at the zone on the weekly at least, by including these candle closes over here, Krisha, because this is a structural level that we have been holding on a wick basis. Now, we've been holding the top of the zone on a candle close basis, but because we've taken so long now to actually see the breakdown over here, I would, for a big breakdown, right, I'm talking about 20,000 all the way to 20,000, I'd be looking for these candle closes to be lost as well at around 32,000. So weekly candle close underneath 32,000, and I'd be looking for a big breakdown, Krisha, like perhaps 20,000 past the monthly 21 EMA. Maybe we defend the monthly 21 EMA on a candle closing basis, but I'd be looking for the wick down to 20,000.
Yikes, that will be a bleed. That'll be a serious bleed. But
it'll be a big move. No, it'll be an impulsive move. It'll be fast. I don't, of course, I could be wrong. It could be a bleed like Krisha's mentioning, but I think it'd be quicker than people expect.
I see what you're saying, and yes, it sort of lines up even if you're looking at price action, because that entire zone now, what you guys need to understand is that from the 30K region down to say 20K, we're essentially looking at this region right here down to 20K. I want you to notice the price action that we have witnessed in that region, right? It was a big melt up for Bitcoin. So that's the thing with charts, and you're looking at the volatility in those zones, that when price does fall, if we start breaking those regions of support to the downside, then there's a good chance the same kind of volatility, the signatures of that sort of volatility actually applies on this bleed down as well. Okay, so Sean may be right in that it could very well be an impulsive move. And the monthly is the monthly candle. There's still 30 days on that candle. So that's how much buffer Bitcoin will have to play with to even defend the monthly 21 EMA. So you know what, Sean? I think that's a plausible play. Okay. Yeah. But of course, guys, contingent on us actually taking out the current levels of support that we're seeing right now. So now this is what we're doing on the weekly time frame. If this actually starts breaking to the downside, once again, your last resort is going to come in at this $32,000 region, right? That is the bottom of the zone. That also lines up with monthly Kijun as well as structural support on the weekly time frame. Sean, do you want to, are you looking at the dynamic, the Mango dynamic on any of the time frames?
The monthly and the weekly, actually. So if you turn on your weekly, you could use your dynamic essentially, for those of you who have access to it, of course, to hold your bullish bias in check. Don't get too bullish until we start closing weekly candles above the dynamic, right? You want to see the dynamic turn green and at least one full candle, all right? So I want to see an open and a close above the dynamic, and we're not even close to doing that. You can see that we had one attempt, but again, we did not have the open and close. Dynamic was not even green. It was still blue, telling you, hey, we are under consolidation. In fact, during this entire phase that we lived when we did live above, again, the dynamic remained blue, asking you to be patient, right? And then we close underneath, the week close underneath. So it just ended up being a non-factor. And then we've been again testing the dynamic, rejecting. Yeah. So you can just use that as a bias. And those of you who actually don't have access to the dynamic, well, this is the weekly time frame. You can literally look at the chart and mark out this range and be like, okay, I'm looking at this zone, and until we break above that zone, I don't want to get too bullish, right? Just hold your bias in check, guys. On the monthly, though, it is a bit of a different story where, we are looking to defend that. Yeah. So, and again, Krisha, this is my theory on if we do lose those levels, right, it's going to be a big move. Holds true with the fact that the dynamic is thinning out now, right? You're seeing that thinning out of the dynamic usually means that we're either going to see a big move towards the upside or the downside once the decision is made. You can see that over here too. When we did have a thinning out, volatility start picking up towards the upside because the direction was picked. Over here, we are waiting for that decision. If we keep holding and we start closing candles above 41,500, I'll be looking for big moves towards the upside. But again, we don't know if this, then that. Sherwin has it right. And and then again, a dynamic again on the daily time frame.
The dynamic has been a freaking hack. I was just talking to Jason right before this, and I was telling him that I've pretty much been using SNR and the dynamic, and that's just been guiding me this entire time and really for me, allowing me to assess market direction, and it's been doing a phenomenal job so far. I know that quite a few of you, by the way, have looked to pulling the trigger on the dynamic now that we're running the Mango sale. And I know that some of you guys are struggling. It's just that the code sort of changed, unfortunately, for a technical reason. So the new discount code now for, the Mango sale is Mango Days. Okay, no hyphen, just Mango Days. So for those of you like trying to pull the trigger, that is the code, Mango Days.
That reminds me of my favorite TV show as a kid, Happy Days. Anyways, going back to what I was talking about, so each ever since we broke down, right, each test of the daily dynamic has been a rejection, low high, low high, low high. Now again, you didn't need to play the first test, right? But as soon as you notice, hey, wait a minute, it looks like we're beginning to range now, we're going into that consolidation phase before the next impulsive move, well, then you can use the dynamic or whatever indicator that you guys are using, right? You guys may have something better for all I know. So if once you identify that, play that edge, right? We've been talking about this ever since it started happening, ever since we got into this range over here. Rejection again over here, same story, right? Did not turn green, did not get that confirmation. We would like to see this blow past, but did not. In fact, we rejected, came back up, tested it, take your profits over here, came back down. Because now what we're beginning to see is volatility contract, right? Again, we saw the rejection, but each time your edge, your support and resistance edge is getting tighter and tighter, right? The width that you're going to play with, right? So initially it was a big range and then becomes smaller and then it becomes smaller, right? What's happening here, guys? Let's think about it. Let's keep drawing this out a little bit more. Right, it's becoming smaller, range is becoming smaller. Now, of course, I'm simplifying it. This could be like angled towards the upside or the downside, but either way, what's happening is you're drawing in a symmetrical triangle, essentially, right? You're now won't be the prettiest of symmetrical triangles, but the psychology is what matters here. You're seeing what's happening over here, guys, is that more and more range traders are stepping out. The trend traders are stepping out. Why? Because initially, even if you're playing the smaller time frame trend, you at least had a trend from this support region to this resistant region, or the other way, right? But as that happens, people start stepping out, okay, and they wait for a decision to be picked for the next range opportunity or the next trend opportunity.
Yeah.
But money starts leaving, and then that's why you see volume on the breakout, guys. Right? People are like, oh, I want the volume. I want the volume. Why do you need the volume? Ask those questions. And when you don't see the volume and prices drifting up anyways, what's happening over there, right? So understand the why and the psychology of the market, guys, as opposed to just, being black and white about it and being too technical. It's not going to help you in the long run with the big moves, right? But yeah, enough of that rant.
But speaking of volatility contracting, we saw something play out on the 4-hour time frame that Sean and I brought to your attention yesterday, right? You want to just delete. Okay, cool. Sean likes scribbling. Scribble, 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 scribble.
If you guys done the C program, you guys know how much so in the C program, for those of you who aren't in it, it essentially starts off with just a few words on the slides, and I have a lot of empty slides with titles, and then I just draw with colors. Like the entire C program is me drawing with colors and stuff like that. It's so much fun. I don't know, it's fun to teach that way.
I had fun watching it. I'll be honest. I thought it was really amusing that you left half the slides empty just for you to scribble.
And then people ask me, hey Sean, do you have the slide deck? I'm like, the slide deck is empty. What do you want?
That's funny.
I did want to talk about something on the daily though, Kusha, before we don't.
Okay, no, go ahead.
Okay, so this is really interesting what's going on over here, right? Because if you do remember in yesterday's video, you drew out the symmetrical triangle. Right. I was a little bit again, as usual, I don't like using diagonals as much, and I drew out a potential descending triangle that may form, right? Now we did see that play through, and again the higher time frame stepped in and stopped it from seeing its entire measured move, right? So again, be very careful, guys. Your patterns on the low time frames may be stopped by higher time frames, at least temporarily, right? So be very careful with buying into higher time frame support, or selling, in this case, shorting into higher time frame support to play that move. So over here, you could have looked at this as a descending triangle or a M-like formation. But we did not see follow through. So now, Kusha, if we start breaking back above this neckline, it's going to be an invalidation of that descending triangle. But another concept that we used to talk about in the past is that when you see an invalidation of a descending triangle, often it may turn into a falling channel instead, right? So an invalidation, or rather a failed continuation of a descending triangle, turns into a falling channel, and a failed continuation of a ascending triangle turns into a rising channel, right? So this turns into a bear structure, essentially failure, with an opportunity to take a short over here. I want to talk about these strategies, but I'll do that in a different video. And over here, it's the other way around. Now, again, these are still extremely lower time frames compared to the monthly that is clearly seeing support over here. So Kusham, yeah, you 4 hours. Let's go.
All right. So I mean, it sort of feeds into what you just brought up in your on your daily time frame, right? So what we saw yesterday was essentially volatility contracting on the lower time frames, like the 4-hour time frame, and you can see that just by looking at the structure, right? There you go. That's your upper trend line, and this is your lower trend line. And you can see just by looking at those wick lows, you can see that volatility is sort of contracting there. And well, we did see a break on this. Right now, I understand that Sean is looking at the horizontal. I personally am looking, because of that psychology of the price action, where those wick lows came in, Sean, I'm looking at that symmetrical triangle. And I honestly think that this really only gets invalidated as soon as we start getting past this region right here, coming in at 33,800.
Yeah.
So as soon as we start seeing candle closes over that region, I'm saying that this entire thing has been negated, at which point I will be looking for that beautiful falling.
Wow. It looks nicer here.
That Sean just brought up to your attention. So that's the thing with price. Don't let people guilt you into switching sides when price really gives you a tip on the fact that, hey, you know what, things might be turning here. Do not let anyone guilt you on that. Okay, now if things start breaking to the upside, we start taking out that neckline, that breakdown point. Once again, I'm saying that, okay, there's something very different happening here. There's the chances of this pattern, this bearish breakdown having continuation suddenly has been cut in half. Okay, the probability of that playing out is has been lowered.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes peeled on this, and it's okay if price starts breaking back up. Hey, that's a new invalidation point for you, right? That's how you look at things. So yeah, keep these points in your purview at the very least.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on this, Sean?
No, I think you nailed it over there, Krisha. You're completely right in that you shouldn't let anyone guilt you into flipping sides.
Yeah.
That's your job. That's literally a job as a trader. That's literally a job. Because how do you risk manage if you're not willing to flip sides?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Makes no sense.
All right, so now this is Bitcoin. You guys have our thoughts on this chart. As far as the weekly is concerned, we're looking at the green box territory, the lowest part of this green box coming in at 32,162, which is the monthly Kijun, as well as that beautiful, beautiful support region on the weekly time frame. Okay, our eyes are going to be peeled on that region. Alrighty, now that is the target on the downside. If we start breaking that, then further down we come. The next region that we're looking at is, well, the monthly 21 EMA coming in at 26K and going down to Sean's deadly, deadly support region at around that 20K, 19K region. Okay, as far as upside targets go, well, 40K is going to be the first stop, right? And as soon as we start breaking 40K, 47.5K, I feel like it's so mood to talk about upside targets until we really start switching that trend. But yeah, these are the most immediate regions that we're looking at. Sean, anything to add to the Bitcoin analysis before we jump on over to Ethereum?
Nope. I think we covered most of the important stuff.
Okay, brilliant. Now, guys, remember, if you want us to cover any altcoin that you are looking at, take this time, pause the video, get down to the comment section, and tell us which altcoin you want us to cover on tomorrow's video. Okay, the popular vote wins. And if we have a draw, you know how the drill goes, right? We spin that wheel. So FUSDT, you can see how excited I am just to talk about spin the wheel. Okay. So, FUSDT on Binance, or you want to pull up the Coinbase chart?
No, Binance is fine.
Binance is fine, right? Okay. So that's the weekly. And, Sean. Thoughts on FUSDT on the weekly time frame?
Right off the bat, this breakdown over here, we reclaimed it, broke above, took out the breakdown candle's weekly high as well, closed above it. This candle over here was just essentially a strong candle from Ethereum saying that, hey, this was a fake out right over here. This was essentially a fake out because you took out the wick low over here too. Now we're using that horizontal support. So literally had an immediate flip of support into resistance after taking out these stops over here. There were clearly some stops over here that weren't being tapped, and the equivalent candle of Bitcoin was tapped, right? So tapped into those tapped into liquidity. For those of you, again, order flow module, this is actually bullish on Ethereum in the grand scheme of things. If we see price actually start taking out these candles over here, and we have trapped traders on the wrong side of the trade who never got back in, we're going to see a lot of people entering above these candles over here, re-entering their trades, because I don't know, Ethereum may surprise me this market run. I'm mentally gearing myself up for that, because something might be coming on Ethereum. Now, again, all of this sounds a little bit too prematurely bullish, guys. Okay, because at the end of the day, the trend is still towards the downside. Because what do we have over here? Okay, just all subjectivity aside, because what I just talked about here in terms of these candles reclaiming their levels, right, is subjective. Okay, objectively, what am I seeing in terms of a trend trader? I'm seeing a high, a lower high, potential another lower high over here, and we have a low and a lower low. That is a downtrend. That is a weekly downtrend. Now the monthly may paint a different picture, and yeah, the monthly isn't in a downtrend yet. The monthly is in a strong uptrend. Very toppy over here though, right? The indecision candle. But again, same story with Bitcoin. Ethereum may pick up as well, depending. Again, these monthly candle close coming up in the next couple of months is going to be really important, which is why I've been saying, hey, we're going to have a better idea in August, in September. And I really think that if we were to turn bullish, it's going to be around that period, end of August, mid-September. And now those of you who have been watching Mango aren't surprised, who have been watching Mango for a while aren't surprised. But those of you who are new will be thinking, he's talking months away? No, guys, the big real moves, the big moves where you make the big money actually comes from you identifying the monthly candles that turn the trend around. We started identifying Bitcoin's big run at 10,900 because of the monthly time frame. Similar story with Ethereum. It was this candle right here, guys, right? So the first big warning was over here, right? And the big warning for us, where we're like, all right, we are getting super bullish on the theme, was this monthly candle. We were able to start going so aggressive on Ethereum, even though we have Bitcoin bulls, was because of this monthly candle. We have a W-like formation with a perfect break, retest. Look at that, right? So again, don't ignore the monthlies, especially in this period. It may give you the big warning to get out or the big warning to maybe get aggressive. Too premature to talk about that just yet, but monthly on Ethereum, keep an eye on it. Weekly, it's telling me something over here that might be a little bit premature for me to be even mentioning, but keep an eye on Ethereum this market cycle more than I otherwise would be something I tell myself. But yeah, that's it for the monthly and the weekly from me, Krisha. Again, apologies for the mess on your chart. But yeah, what are your thoughts on?
I like your analysis. I think the monthly is important. Yes. As far as the weekly is concerned, guys, I think the weekly is also an important one to be looking at, especially leading into the monthly close, of course. And it's what Sean really brought up, which is that structure. Right? I'll be keeping a very keen eye out on how price reacts off of this region right here. Okay, we start taking out the highs, right? I'll be looking at price to start taking out these wick highs right here to really tip me off on whether or not Ethereum could be doing something special here. Because so far I'm looking at price action on Sean, and it's looking interesting. Right. In fact, my Ethereum BTC system flipped on me again.
Yeah.
So that was
an invalidation.
Yeah, that was an invalidation on that. And that doesn't happen too often. So now that it has triggered, it's sort of drawing my attention to this chart a little more. So keep your eyes peeled on, this zone that we're currently within. As soon as price starts taking out these highs right here, I'm saying Ethereum has the edge. We're likely going to start trending up further, at which point I'm saying that the highs are going to be the next stop that Ethereum gets up to, which comes in at around $3,900-ish. As if of course, there's always that flip side. You know what? If Bitcoin breaks down, Ethereum can break down as well. Ethereum starts breaking down past this point once again, okay, $2,000. I'm saying further down, we come back down to $1,400.
Yeah.
Okay, so keep it very simple. I think your horizontals are going to be your best guide. And horizontals and structure right now for Ethereum. But it's a decent picture so far. We'll have to sort of wait and watch to see how these weekly candles close, because that is going to be the pivotal tell on this chart.
Again, if you're looking at the 10-kin and the 21 EMA, 10 SMA as well, you can just see essentially those indicators are aligning with what I mentioned in terms of trend trading, right? They're saying that, hey, the trend is down. You're beginning to see resistance against the 21 EMA, resistance against the 10-kin, holding it down the first time for your first low high, potential second low high over here. Do we test down all the way here, bottom of the structure? Keep in mind, Krisha, if we hide your okay, so notice that I've marked a horizontal over here somewhere around your green
50.
That's the 50. Okay, yeah. Your 50 simple moving average. So the next weekly candle is actually going to have a tick one more to the upside, lining up with this horizontal structure right over here. Keep in mind that Ethereum is yet to test the equivalent structure that Bitcoin has already tested. So this region over here for Ethereum, I would equate to Bitcoin's 30,000 region, right? So Bitcoin's kind of hovering at the bottom zone right now of its 30,000 region, right? Where it topped over, where this was 50K, and then broke down and is consolidating underneath there. Ethereum hasn't come down there just yet. So that in itself currently is showing that Ethereum structure is a lot stronger than Bitcoin's. But if it does break down over here, I wouldn't be surprised if it does come down and test 1400, which is the bottom of its weekly structure that's holding it up right now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Now, guys, this is all we have for you,
Yeah.
honestly, for Ethereum. Just keep it very simple. Keep your eyes peeled on the higher timeframes, and that will guide you best, even in terms of your directional trades on the lower timeframes. Okay. And Sean, any final notes before we wrap this up and continue with our weekend shenanigans?
No, I think we covered a lot today, and yeah, looking forward to the next video and perhaps doing a live stream, because I don't know, I'm just feeling the itch to do one, so I'm just gonna do one.
Yeah, so we'll make an announcement on the Discord channel if Sean does plan on, putting up a live stream today. And this is all we have for you for Friday's analysis, guys. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao.
Ciao, guys.